I can imagine being your lawyer in the 80s had to be a stressful and also profitable gig to take.
Yeah, he made a lot of money.
I bet he did. I bet he did.
He kept us out of jail, though.
I bet he did.
That was the most important thing, is keep my guys out of jail.
That had to be nice to have somebody like that in your corner to kind of guide you through the legalities of like, hey, if you're gonna take your money and put it here, do it this way.
Really, one of the best things he ever told me was, I go to him and I was like, man, these cops planting dope.
Planning dope.
Yeah, they was planting dope on us.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't catch us. They couldn't figure out how to catch us with dope. You know, I came up with a theory was that we don't keep dope in the house. We bring it in the house, we wear it up. As soon as we wear it up, we throw it in the trunk of a car, put the car down the street in front of somebody else's house. So they was never going to catch us with dope unless they caught us like right during that time that we was weighing it up.
That specific instance.
And then we started weighing it up at 3 a.m, 4 a.m, you know, like odd hours of the day when most people would be asleep. So people wouldn't see us going in houses or something like that. Because, you know, people would see me sometime and recognize me and be like, oh, that's Rick Ross. So we just started doing it when most people would be asleep, so nobody wouldn't really recognize us. So the cops couldn't catch us with dope. And back then, it wasn't no conspiracy, you know, like, well, conspiracy, somebody got to get caught with some dope, with a conspiracy, or somebody got to come in and say that you had some dope. But anyway, they started planting the drugs on us. They started raiding the house and would literally take dope out of their pocket and plant it in the house, or take bags of dope out of their trunk of their car.
And so how did your lawyer tell you to navigate through that?
Well, when I told him about it, he didn't believe it. You know, California. Man.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy thing.
Yeah, ain't nobody doing no shit like that in California. So he said, if I knew some cops was crooked like that there, I would hire a private investigator to investigate the cops. That's what I did.
So you would hire a private investigator. Now, this would be pre them planting drugs or after?
They'd already been planting drugs. They had planted drugs on my people already. They hadn't planted drugs on me.
And you knew who these cops were?
Yeah.
So you would say,
that was the Freeway Task Force. They was named after me.
So you would hire a private investigator to investigate those cops?
Yeah.
And just get shit on them?
Yeah.
That's great. What was the craziest thing that your PI dug up on a cop?
This one guy was in the bed with his girl, and he had a fish tank right next to his bed. Well, one of the pumps had a shortage in it, so it was electrocuting. They stuck the guy onto the wire and electrocuted him.
So the cops did that to someone?
Yeah. And your
PI witnessed this?
He didn't witness it, but the defendants or the witnesses told him that that's what happened to him. Another one was my partner. We used to have big safes, probably like the size of this table in our apartments. And they wanted him to open the safe. And he wouldn't open it. So they took a trash bag and put over his head.
Fuck. Some real torture and shit to try to suffocate him.
They got indicted for that. For putting the trash bag over his head, smothering him.
Wow. So it was almost like against their best interest to fuck with you in that way, because you had a fucking guy who was gonna, I guess, overturn all that shit.
Well, eventually we got it all overturned. When I turned my investigation in, 150 people got out of prison.
When you ended up going in, or when you ended up turning in what your PI got?
They eventually indicted me.
Okay.
So when they indicted me,
you had all this shit that your PI had accumulated.
Yeah, we were like, oh, you gonna go to trial with these guys? This is
what we got on them.
This your witnesses?
Right.
Let me show you who your
terrible witnesses.
Let me show you who your witnesses is.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's how I beat my first case.
Shout out to your PI, huh? I mean, that's your lawyer and your PI in the 80s. God bless him. They had to top of the line guy.
Frenchie, he probably dead now too. Though.
His name was Frenchie.
Frenchie, yeah. He was an ex-cop.
Shout out. So he knew.
Yeah, he knew the ropes.
He knew the ropes.
But those are the guys that you get for investigators. You know, if you doing an investigation on cops, you know, you want somebody who's been there, done that.
That's some real shit.